Month is, of course, that time of year when corporations get together and financially exploit the decades-long struggle of gay people for acceptance and equality. Hey, remember when you were fired from that bank job after you were outed? Well, Burger King does. With a burger that has 2 bottom buns. Yeah. That's not a funny make-em-up. Scarred by conversion therapy, Skittles is releasing a colorless version of Skittles. Apparently not wanting to confuse gay people with competing rainbows. Yeah. And then there's this ad showing a family overcoming a father's deep conservative values. And as you watch it, try and guess exactly what it is they're selling.
Mom, this is Amy.
Oh, hi, Amy.
Hey, Dad.
All over your face.
You're the cutest little baby.
Happy birthday.
Is that your dad?
What is he doing?
Did I do it right? I love you. Do you like it?
I love it.
Yeah, the next time you waste an enormous amount of paint to apologize to your daughter for making her and her girlfriend walk on eggshells all weekend, not even saying anything, just standing there with your little glowering beard face in the shadows, you just paint the face and give her an Oreo? And then, of course, there's Target. Pride Month means so much to them that they set up one small area in their 20,000 square feet of store to sell you a Pride t-shirt they had made in Indonesia for 29 cents landed. Because they believe so much in the cause.
Well, Target will be dialing back its Pride Month merchandise this June.
What? How will I learn to live, laugh, lesbian? That's right. Target is apparently less proud of Pride this year. But why?
Retail giant Target is grappling with backlash from conservatives over its most recent collection celebrating the LGBTQ community.
Do not shop at Target, or else you're gay and you're a pervert.
Even if I'm just getting paper towels? Is that? But that's the burden corporations must bear. They care almost too much about the human condition, often finding themselves in the crosshairs of ideologues and fundamentalists, but they stand by their values, sometimes for a couple of months.
The U.S. military, the most powerful and respected organization in the entire world. Few have what it takes. The discipline, the strength, the bravery, the sacrifices made to serve our country. But according to the Trump White House, there's an enemy within.
Everything's transgender. Everybody transgender. That's all you hear about.
The Supreme Court will allow the Trump administration to begin enforcing a ban on transgender service members.
No more pronouns. No more dudes in dresses. We're done with that shit.
And I had some hard-hitting questions. So, as the Daily Show's senior war correspondent, only I had the guts to...
Paper cut!
Once recovered, I met with some transgender individuals to hear their unqualifications.
My name is Lieutenant Ray Timberlake. I'm in the United States Navy, and I've been serving for about 17 years.
My name is Clayton, and I've been trying to go for pararescue, PJ, in the Air Force, and it's a special warfare career field.
I'm Second Lieutenant Nicholas Talbot with the United States Army Reserve. I've been in for a little over a year.
I'm Joe Ellis. I'm a Chief Warrant Officer 2 in the Virginia Army National Guard. I've served for 15 years. I fly the U-860, which is a Black Hawk.
I don't want to swap war stories, but I've flown Spirit Airlines twice, so I know danger. They seem qualified to me, but there are others who think they're weakening our military.
They can't go to sea, they can't fly airplanes in combat, they can't deploy with the Army into combat areas.
We should never allow anyone in the military to undergo transition surgery, which would make them medically unqualified to deploy.
This idea that we spend years of being non-deployable is just simply untrue. I've never missed a deployment. I can fight tonight.
They've paid for nothing for my transition. I paid out of pocket because I wanted to be mission ready as fast as possible. In 6 weeks, I was deployable again, and I'm deployable today. They spend many times more on Viagra than they do on gender-affirming care.
If we don't have Viagra in the military, then who is going to take care of Pete Hegseth's whiskey dick? I mean, that's not how I want to serve my country. Turns out the U.S. military spends 8 times more on Viagra than gender-affirming care. Over 37 million more, to be exact. And on top of that, replacing transgender troops could cost an estimated $960 million in recruiting and training, which ain't easy.
It's very physically intense. After going through a pretty extensive medical exam to even get into the military, going to basic training, it's a lot like what most people think it is.
It's like boot camp?
It's boot camp.
I did theater camp. It's tough. My tour of duty was South Pacific. Valley High's calling, Valley High. Is that how it went?
Yeah. All the trans people that are serving go above and beyond the standards, and they do their job every day.
But it's interesting to hear that we are too strong for sports, but too weak for the military.
Being too weak for both, I was curious why anyone would want to kick out these dedicated individuals.
If I'm in a foxhole, I don't want to know whether this guy next to me is wondering if he's a woman or a man or flipping back and forth.
Because everyone knows when you're fighting on the front lines, the real enemies are the preferred pronouns of the person next to you.
So I go by rank and last name. If someone uses a pronoun that I don't prefer, I really don't care. To me, it's a distraction. Like, my job is to fly the helicopter.
I'm curious what the reaction has been to you being trans in the military.
I received an outpouring of support when I came out.
They're my family and they have my back.
At the end of the day, all anybody cares about is whether I can perform my job when I have that uniform on.
Must be nice to have respectful coworkers. I work with this guy, Ronnie, who's a total dick. He's just a dick. So if the people in the military itself don't care, then why did the administration impose an executive order stating this?
An adoption of a gender identity inconsistent with an individual's sex conflicts with a soldier's commitment to an honorable, truthful, and disciplined lifestyle.
I was named an honor graduate at basic training, so I would say, at least someone out there agrees that I have some honor and some discipline in me.
Would you leak war plans on Signal? Are you that disciplined?
I don't have any plans to do so.
Good to know.
If more people met trans people like us, then there would be no issue.
If the world's on fire, these are the folks I want in the foxhole. But would they want me? Do you guys think I would be an asset in the U.S. military?
How many push-ups can you do?
It's sort of like jazz. It's all about the push-ups you don't do. And right now, I'm not doing millions.
How fast can you run 2 miles?
Well, I can drive it in under 40 seconds.
Yeah, so I was at Fort Sill, Oklahoma for basic training. It was about 120 degrees Fahrenheit most days.
Yeah, that's not going to work for me. If I'm in the sun for more than 7 minutes, I get heat rash, just like that.
Have you ever tried an MRE?
Yeah, and they told me that it was just a little fracture in my foot. I think you're talking about MRI?
No.
MRE is a meal that's ready to eat.
Yeah, military shit. While lawsuits are still pending and the fight's not over, I imagine these troops have lost the appetite to fight for a country that refuses to acknowledge they even exist.
President Trump is my commander-in-chief, and I will gladly answer the call if he calls me up to active duty.
America's my home. This is my country. This is, where I want to be and who I want to fight for.
I'm willing to serve, I'm able to serve, and I can get the job done.
I'd say come to the fleet, come to the field, come see what the thousands of transgender service members do every day in support of our nation's defense.
Sounds like patriotism to me, but what do I know? I didn't serve because of bone spurs.
Now, when you think of bullying, you probably think it's happening in schools, and you'd be right. But these days, the bullying is also happening from people way more immature than teenagers, politicians.
To surge in anti-LGBTQ legislation across the country, with more than 500 bills so far this year.
11 states limit instruction around sexual orientation or gender identity in schools.
25 states bar transgender minors under 18 from having gender-affirming care.
22 states banning trans kids from school sports.
And you thought the government couldn't get anything done. Great work, lawmakers. Thanks for making sure schools don't teach about sexual orientation or gender identity, because pretending trans kids don't exist means they disappear, just like pretending climate change doesn't exist means it disappears too. So I guess we'll never know why my tits are sweating in December. Now, with all these anti-trans laws, one would assume it's because the country is overrun with trans kids taking over sports, right?
Republicans pushing for the ban have been unable to point to any evidence of a problem.
How many girls in Georgia have been denied opportunity because of transgender athletes participating in sports?
Yeah. So obviously there's not a lot of statistics on that.
So there are none in Georgia?
Again, I don't have any hard data on that.
No hard data. Okay, that's okay. No, hon, I understand. I'm sure that not having anything hard is something you're used to. Now, these lawmakers claim the purpose of these bills is to protect kids. But the reality is, anti-trans laws actually lead to more school bullying of trans and queer kids. And that is so disappointing to see, especially from governors like Ron DeSantis. The way that man rocks a pair of high heels, you'd think he'd be an ally. And as the election gets closer, the Republican Party is going all in on its transphobia.
Since the beginning of August, Republicans have spent more than $65 million on ads focusing on transgender issues in over a dozen states.
Baldwin supported efforts to allow sex change surgeries for minor children.
Sex change operations attempting to make young boys into girls.
Tester even wanted to let men use girls' bathrooms and locker rooms.
Boys in girls' bathrooms. Boys in girls' locker rooms. Boys in girls' sports.
Kamala's for they, them. President Trump is for you.
Oh, look who finally learned how to use pronouns. But seriously, $65 million on anti-trans ads? Do you know how disappointing it is to finally have someone spend $65 million on me, and it's for this crap? I didn't want hateful attack ads. I wanted a house in the hills with 6 walk-in closets. But with anti-trans messaging playing such a large role in our politics, it's no wonder we're seeing so much anti-trans violence and suicide. And that's something we do have hard data on. I didn't pull that fact from the same place Republicans get their information, www.straightoutoftheirass.com. Now, this is not to shame ass play. We would never do that. Never. But this is straight out of the Bigotry Handbook. Using dehumanizing language on marginalized groups provides a permission structure to attack them, because when people are rendered no longer human, you can take away their rights, commit violence against them with impunity. But trans people are people with actual thoughts and feelings. And maybe a slight online shopping addiction that they're trying to get a handle on, but then Prime Day comes along, and what if I need a gazebo even though I live in an apartment? Hypothetically speaking. We're just trying to live our lives. We just simply want to be who we are and not experience stigma, violence, and discrimination for it. And most people understand this, but because that is such a simple and non-controversial truth, Republicans have to flood the airwaves with made-up fear-mongering like this.
Can you imagine you're a parent and your son leaves the house and you say, Jimmy, I love you so much, go have a good day in school, and your son comes back with a brutal operation.
Now, girl, you think teachers can convince kids to get gender-affirming care? Teachers can't even convince kids to wear deodorant. And here's the crazy thing. It doesn't even work for their electoral chances. Republicans tried anti-trans campaigns in 2022, and they were unsuccessful. So why are they doing them again? Is it possibly because it's easier than actually solving problems that exist? Yeah, that is the reason. Laverne, you're so smart. Thank you, I know. Or maybe it's because they truly feel that we're the demons they say we are. But something tells me these Republicans are obsessed with us on a deeper level.
Mark Robinson apparently was cheering on transgender porn. K-File reporting on this message board, one of the things he wrote, and cover your ears. That's effing hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in, Robinson wrote. And yeah, I'm a perv too.
Now, if you had told me that anti-trans politicians were secretly watching and loving trans porn, I would have said, duh. Now, I'm 52 years old, and if I had a dime for every conservative man who's tried to get with me, I could get that house in the hills. Now, some people might think that this means self-described pervs like Mark Robinson like trans people, but in reality, turning us into sex objects is just another way of dehumanizing us. And I think it's time to stop dehumanizing and start rehumanizing each other. I'll start. Mark Robinson, I don't see you as just another evil bigot who hangs out on nudeafrica.com. I see you as a human being with needs and hopes and, yes, contradictions like the rest of us. And also the ability to type very astutely with only one hand. We see you, Mark. We see all of you. Specifically, we see all of you on this map. This map shows the top searches for trans porn are all in red states. Oh yes, that is real data, honey. Oh yes. And sorry to break it to you. Also sorry to break it to you that incognito mode did not work. We see you. We see all of you. And all we ask is that you see us too. And that you pull your damn pants up.
Pride Month, where we celebrate the LGBTQ community, and stores roll out their Pride merch to rake in some of that sweet gay cash. Or as it's known in the gay community, money. But this year, things are different.
Pride Month is here, and some big brands have gone conspicuously quiet.
Corporate America is scaling back its marketing that includes selling Pride-themed merchandise or posting supportive messages on social media.
Walmart, MasterCard, Comcast, Pepsi, and more have either stopped or scaled back Pride events.
Anheuser-Busch not sponsoring Pride St. Louis after a 30-year partnership.
Target's once bold Pride displays now stripped bare.
Absolutely despicable. Target has completely abandoned its role as the #1 destination for gay people with horrible fashion sense. But the question is, why are these companies suddenly retreating back into the closet?
More than 60% of more than 200 executives say they fear backlash from the Trump administration and its actions against diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts by companies.
Our country will be woke no longer.
Some also fear falling prey to conservative activists and customers, becoming the next Bud Light.
Some companies writing checks, but asking that their names and logos not be included. It's a strange time for Pride this year.
Come on, secretly paying gays because you're ashamed? You're major corporations, not Lindsey Graham. For more analysis, we turn now to our senior gay business correspondent, Troy Iwata.
Thank you so much, Desi. Yes, I am the senior gay business correspondent.
Just to clarify, are you a correspondent on gay business or a business correspondent who is gay?
Yes.
Cool. So what do you make of corporations pulling back from Pride Month?
You know what? I get it. Big corporations, I get it. You were only into jumping all over Pride a few years ago because it was trendy and cool and so Obama, and you wanted all that gay cash. But we have a lot of it. You know, I get it. Most of us don't have kids.
Ugh, right. Totally. You don't do that boring breeding thing that we do.
Yeah, totally. You know, but I get it. The vibes have shifted. You know, MAGA's ascended, Trump is president, Obama is dead. But one day the pendulum is going to swing back toward the gays, and when it does, a little rainbow flag isn't going to cut it. If they want our business again, they're going to have to do something that shows their commitment.
Sure, like discounts, or they could donate to LGBTQ causes.
They're going to have to bottom. Yeah. Hey, corporations, you want to prove that you have commitment? Find your most homophobic executive, change his fiber intake. Day 1 of the act, make him eat light, mostly greens. Okay? He needs to douche because sometimes you can't just trust your body. And then he needs lubricant, okay? You can't just pull a Heath Ledger and spit on it, R.I.P.
Wow, bottoming does take a lot of commitment.
Yeah, it does, I know. Even some gay guys won't do it, Brian.
That demand is detailed.
Yeah. Sorry, is that too much detail for you? Does male love make you cringe?
Oh my God, no. Oh God, no. It's so beautiful, like so beautiful. I mean, in fact, I wish I could be there with you in the room, just like celebrate it all, you know?
All right, calm down.
Okay. Sorry, I want to be an ally. So, do you think bottoming will be enough to satisfy them?
Well, you know, it depends on the angle. And
No, I mean to satisfy the gay community.
Oh, right. Okay. No. There's all sorts of ways companies can embrace gay culture. They can show their appreciation of Megan Hilty. They can find out who Megan Hilty is. They can open their marriages, then close their marriages, then open their marriages again. AMC, you can put Nicole Kidman in charge of the company. She's basically the only reason gays go to the movies.
Yes. Oh, and they can give Goldman Sachs to Katy Perry.
I love that you're trying, but you don't get it.
They can watch Drag Race. I love Drag Race.
A true ally.
Yeah. Thank you. That really means a lot. I feel so seen. And that is what Pride Month is all about.
That's not true, but okay.
So let me ask you this. The next time the pendulum swings to the right, what if corporations abandon your community again?
Well, that will be difficult. And if they come crawling back a third time, they'll need to go above and beyond to regain our trust. And, you know, there is something they can do, and I think we both know what it is.
Yes.
Equal hiring practices.
Yeah.
Wow, what? You just said full-on fisting?
No. I said what you said. Drag queen, yes queen, all tea, no shade. Troy Iwata, everyone.